I got promoted and moved on to another level because the devil was satisfied by the work that I did for him. He told me that I had worked for a long time in the department of killing people, and he will then move me to the department of bringing dreams to people in order for them to believe in worship of ancestors and not God, or to mix God with ancestors so that they would be known, in the kingdom of darkness, that they serve the devil, because God said in the Bible, "You should not have any other gods beside me." I then started to watch people as they slept on those TVs, and they showed me how it's done, by showing me others that were already doing this type of work. I understood it to be an easy job because you do everything to people that already believe that there are ancestors watching over us. I will start to speak about those that do not want ancestors. Before I would perform this on a person, I would first steal their dreams and to study that person through those dreams, and I would manipulate their mind. I would go to a person as they slept and I would work on their brain. Sometimes I would come and speak the kind of dream I want them to have, and they would wake up having dreamt it. Or in other times, I would make their spiritual body to watch the dream I want them to have, and a person would think they are only dreaming, but it is actually happening in the spiritual realm. I made my first victim dream about their grandmother, as we have the pictures of people in the kingdom of darkness. I pretended to be their grandmother. The face was made exactly like hers, but the body was mine. Then I told them I am thirsty and I no longer receive their sacrifices of traditional beer, then I would leave. Then they woke up and shared this dream while I was watching them on the TVs in the kingdom of darkness. I saw that their family members did not believe them, so I returned again in the daytime while that person slept and told them I am thirsty and my house has not received sacrifices of traditional beer for some time. In my hand I had a beer container and I left them afraid. After creating this dream, I went to watch on the TV what went on in that house. The aim was that a week should not pass without them believing in ancestors. When I appeared again, I appeared to the mother of that house, with a lot of anger, and she accepted that the child was telling the truth. Satan rejoiced because they started to plan to do the ancestral ceremony for their grandmother. Then I succeeded in my work that day. Having a dream that says you should do a ceremony for your ancestors, just know that it's just devil worshippers wanting you to spend your money and waste it. We made people have these dreams, especially when they were about to get their bonuses at work, because we wanted to finish this money, and a person would not do anything that would improve his home or that would make them successful in life. All this is a deception created by devil worshippers. I am testifying on what I know and what I did, and not what I heard from people. I do not care what people say, but I will continue to testify about what I know, saw and did in the kingdom of darkness. Satan is a liar. He will never stop me because I know his tactics. Let me continue. I continued with the assignment of dreams. I was sent to cause dreams in people because in that place the ceremony of worshipping ancestors is the one that they love. It is done in order for people to not believe in Jesus Christ, and so that when a person preaches to someone that worships ancestors, they are hated by them because the person has believed in worship of ancestors for a long time. It is because the mind of this person has been blinded by the kingdom of darkness, and it is done so that they hate saved Christians because we knew they are dangerous, because they will tell them the truth and they will repent. That is why saved Christian churches are hated, because they preach that people should forsake their ancestors. I made them dream, and in the dreams I would tell them to brew and offer traditional beer to their ancestors, so that whether they are in Cape Town or Gauteng, their ancestors would know where they are. By the time you brew traditional beer, we would be excited because you gave us the legal right to enter your home, and by just brewing your name was written down as belonging to the kingdom of darkness because you sinned. The Bible says in 1 John 3 verse 8, the one that sins belongs to the devil. We would enter that home anytime because they obeyed the devil. I succeeded a lot in that department. I was again sent to make people practice their traditions more in a night. I was able to visit more than 10 people and make them have dreams, and tell them that I have been hungry for a long period and I need food. I love to visit men because they love tradition and customs very much. I would appear twice to a man and he would offer sacrifices in a hurry. Postscript, another tactic from the devil. A person will have a dream of their dead relative saying they are cold and so they need to sacrifice to them, trying to convey the idea that the ancestors are in an unhappy or unpleasant state. When we were cold, I would appear angry in the dream and speak facing away and tell them that I, hiding as dead relative, am hungry or I am feeling cold. After that I would go and watch them on those TVs in the kingdom of darkness. After seeing that it was successful, I would stay on the TVs and press on his brain to make them remember the dream and to never forget that I said I am hungry. Satan has a lot of schemes and he is a deceiver. When you do his work you feel as though things will go well for you, but he gets a chance to destroy you. Then he would deceive you and tell you the ceremony has worked, or when we wanted to eat your money we would tell you the ceremony did not work and you must do it again. I still say that Jesus Christ is good and he still helps me. So I went on progressing and growing in the kingdom of darkness. In the kingdom of darkness you have many bodies, and I was also assigned to other kingdoms. I was assigned under a river to work there also. I was 10 years old and I had 10 bodies. My other bodies worked around Gauteng and even in other African countries. All these bodies performed different assignments, others killed in car accidents, others killed in the hospitals, and others attended meetings. My other bodies were controlled by Satan, and so I do not know the things they did. I was no longer in my second body, but at that time I was in my 10th body. I was freed when I was in my 20th body. I continued with this assignment of dreams. I began to go underneath the waters so I could pretend to be an ancestor that lives underneath the waters, which is one which people honor greatly. Satan then told me that I will work on the department of witch doctors and make people witch doctors. When a person was to be a witch doctor, we first gave them a vision of things that would happen in the future, and they would happen. We did that so that they would believe in dreams more, so that we would use dreams to deceive them. After that, we would show them in a dream, sitting alone singing and beating drums, and then see a witch doctor they do not know, or we would show a witch doctor that they would later know. Then they would begin to wonder why they keep having these kind of dreams. We kept watching over them to see if they would accept this dream or not. I would whisper the song from the dream and they would remember the dream. I wanted them to not forget the dream. At that moment I would begin my work and put demons in them that made them think about this dream. I would be standing and watching on those TVs and I would tell their brain to think about the dream and the demons would make them think about the dream. Then they would tell this dream and we would advise them to go consult a witch doctor about these dreams. We would observe people, and if others seemed to have a lot of money, we wanted the money to get finished while they are still searching. We wanted them to go to all places trying to find a witch doctor that will initiate them. In the meantime, money is getting finished. When you go to a witch doctor to tell it your problems, it would say your ancestors are calling you and they want you to accept this calling. This was already planned in the kingdom of darkness. We would send ancestral demons to fetch the person that would tell them all they want to know, because witch doctors work together. What causes that is ancestral demons. The time they say, Vumoni Bo, Mokosi, the kingdom of darkness will connect with that witch doctor or traditional healer through these ancestral demons. We would tell the traditional healer to tell you what to do and what to slaughter. Others we would directly tell them through dreams what they should slaughter. I pressed them hard so that they would not be happy but always think about the goat that they should slaughter. Others I would put in them demons of sickness. Others would hear the smell of traditional beer or hear one of their goats bleat in their ears. As for the work in that place, I didn't have to be trained over and over again, but I would learn it quickly because there is not much time in that place and they hurried because there are a lot of people. I made others have dreams of themselves dancing like witch doctors near river/sea or singing loudly and then see a traditional beer container floating on the water. I would be a voice in the dream and tell the person that this container is yours and we are waiting for you to come for initiation, except calling under the waters. We didn't want a witch doctor that we initiated under the water to consult another witch doctor, rather we made them remember the things through dreams because we knew they were going to bring the power of darkness on earth. We liked young women because they are clever. If they go there under the waters while they're 20 years old, they would come out knowing all things. As for a witch doctor initiated this way, we didn't take time after we gave them the dream. I would tell them to come to the river while it was daytime while there is no one along the river. They would come singing that song that they believe is theirs, but at that time they are connecting to the water kingdom. We would also sing it because we know it and we were happy that we will eat human flesh because of them and happy for having a new member. By the time they arrived, we would increase the waters in the river and while they are fetching water they would be taken. While they arrived, we would dress them in beads and put in them satanic powers to connect with them while on earth. And we would keep watching how many people they initiate on earth. After that we would keep them there and dress them in witch doctor attire and we would wait for their family to look for them. The family would first go to a witch doctor and we would be there and tell the witch doctor that the child will be released by slaughtering a red cow and a red goat. Those animals would be slaughtered and we would take their blood and flesh. By the time they slaughter them, this person is being given over to the kingdom of darkness and then this person would be released under the river being a full witch doctor. All this is done so that many people will believe in witch doctors after seeing the wonders of people coming out of the river wearing beads. When an animal was slaughtered and the ceremony of this initiate was completed, they would go and inform their family. We already knew everything. When they left the underwater where the serpent was, they would leave with a satanic eye. We would watch them through that eye when they gave people traditional medicine. We knew that through this they were initiating these people without them knowing. This eye is called a secret eye and a witch doctor uses it to see the future. This eye works by the help of the ancestral demons to see the future or to see anything about a person before they explain it. All this is nothing but mind games because it is these demons that cause problems in a person's life and they are the ones that advise them to go to a witch doctor, and when they arrive these demons would tell the ancestral demons in the witch doctor the kind of work they did, and these ancestral demons would tell it to the witch doctor. And the witch doctor will speak what it heard from these ancestral demons and people will say this is a powerful witch doctor. Then the witch doctor will give you traditional medicine and that traditional medicine will be infiltrated with demons. And these demons make a person worse or they heal them or fix their problems so that they will continue to love and trust witch doctors and put their trust in them and not in God. Others we made them worship God and ancestors. We knew when they do that they are serving two masters and God doesn't want that because He said we should not have other gods besides Him. We also made witch doctors have their own initiates. These are witch doctors that were being initiated by other witch doctors. We made initiates to be great in number because we wanted this work of being a witch doctor to increase and continue. When they had their own initiates, we would tell them to stay along the river 21 days. We made sure when they left that place it would be their second bodies and no longer them. Whether they knew it or not. The snake down the water would come out and be next to that person. It loved the new initiates. To others it would appear physical, and to others it would be called modular. What we would do if their family believed in ancestors is write down their names because they now belong to Satan. I still say that what people call an ancestor and sacrifice animals to does not exist. When a person is dead, their body goes back to the dust and the spiritual body will go to heaven if that person was saved and living a holy life without performing ancestral ceremonies. Let me clarify on what I mean when I said a saved person that does not take part in ancestral ceremonies, because we used to catch other Christians when there was an ancestral ceremony in their family. They would say that they will not eat any meat but will be present in the yard and only wash the dishes, but by just your presence in that place they would write down your name in the kingdom of darkness because you are worshipping other gods, and you did not stand up for your Christian belief. You chose to please men than to please God. And when you were washing the dishes or helping in the ceremony, you were contributing to the work of Satan. We would laugh and say good because we would have captured you. And we would make you take a drink and tell you to drink because it is hot. By just stepping in that place there were demons already waiting for you. You cannot burn us and then sit in the devil's ceremony. I would be the first to look for a saved Christian in a ceremony, so I would make them fall. Others we captured them in this way. A person would say, I will not go there to the ceremony, but I will contribute with money. We would rejoice greatly because you contributed to the work of the devil. Your money will not return to you. You will do something and you will run out of money in the middle of doing it because you contributed to the work of the devil. It will be written down that you belong there. In all departments it would be written. There is laughter and rejoicing because you did not stand up for your Christian belief. If you are saved, let everything of yours be saved too. Don't help because this is not for you. If you help, you would be making the people performing these ceremonies to be happy because even though you don't take part, but you help them. Many saved Christians were captured during the December period when others had children that went for initiation school in the mountain as a Kosa ritual to become a man. The child would insist on doing these ceremonies and the parent would be worried. Satan would watch over that person by himself because they are required to take out money to buy alcohol and everything required for the ceremony. So a person needs to defend their faith and not to be found doing cultural things. After we wrote down that person's name in the kingdom of darkness, they would come back from the ceremony with no strength and they will not want to go to church and they will be lazy to pray because they would be filled with demons of ceremonies. I would make sure that they would go to church and not see the difference. Or they would be in church and think their ancestors are watching over them because of a wonderful change after what they did in the ceremony, or they will not understand the sermon and they would feel as though they are directing the sermon to them, or they would talk bad about the church that it is making them forsake their culture and customs. Or the demons would tell the person that they can fellowship but must not forsake their ancestors. We would tell him that even pastors perform their African rituals and customs. At that moment we would have already stole that person's faith. They would then begin to disagree with the Bible when there is preaching and they would not believe it, saying there is no such thing. Satan formed a scheme and he twisted scripture saying that people must say Jesus didn't come to remove African culture and customs but to fulfill it. Many people think this is what the verse is saying, but that's not true. It says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." We used to manipulate Christians a lot during December by making a person say they would brew traditional beer because there is a dream that's bothering them, but they will not drink it. But as for you, we knew that you will perish in hell and not go to heaven because you are serving two gods. We would manipulate a person so that they would not hear the truth. It's even worse when that person has brood that one belongs to the kingdom of darkness. We would watch them on our TVs when they were in church acting holy, and we would laugh at them whenever they were deceiving themselves with words, and when they were in the spirit we would remind them of the time that were brewing beer, and they would stop praying because they would be convicted of their sin. The people we captured a lot were the fathers, because a man is the head of the house and they are quick to believe. They believe in things they can see and not things they cannot see. Let me clarify on the issue of surnames. People ask why Christians use their surnames if ancestors don't exist. Ancestors are people in your family that have died. And surnames explain your genealogy and where you come from. Even Jesus had ancestors. It is written in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1. Even as Christians we have surnames and ancestors. It's just that we don't worship or ask anything from them because all things are found in God. Let me continue on the part of ceremonies and how we sent entities when we didn't want to go ourselves. The first thing we wanted was for a person to strengthen their home. A person would go to a witch doctor and say they want to protect their home and everyone in their home. We would rejoice at this under the water because we knew that all traditional medicine was made by us. The day a witch doctor enters your house for the first time we would have already knew, and we would be happy because you are making your house to be a place where we will do whatever we like. In other homes we cooked, we would dance all night and fight over the house and said it was ours. When you strengthened your house we put a big snake that would frequently tell us whatever you are planning in your house. In other times, if you were struggling before and things were not working out for you, we would stop attacking you and you would see a difference. During that time we wanted you to believe that everything is now alright, but the reason Satan has stopped attacking you is because you are doing his will, and you are obeying his law and not God's law. Other homes we stayed and protected them ourselves. These are the homes that have people who are educated or who are employed. We would enter them and we just wanted them to not go to church. We did not attack them, we just wanted the money to get finished, for them to not know how the money got finished. Others were guarded by spiders and crocodiles. Others would spot crocodiles entering during the daytime. That's because those crocodiles would be used to going there, and that's why they would appear even in the daytime. The reason they went during the daytime, it wanted the people of that house to brew traditional beer, or we just want meat. And other times we would send bees and people would even respect them and say they are ancestors. Others strengthened their homes by using strings/threads into their homes, and they would be full of strings. In the kingdom of darkness we would laugh hard because these strings in the night turned into snakes, and we could connect through those strings. Those strings have no power. If you are full of these things you just gave us an easy way to control your life. Other women began to love men more because these strings had demons of lust. Others would get in an argument at home not knowing why, but it is these strings that are full of demons of quarreling. I counsel you that if you have this string/thread to take it out and burn it so that you will be freed. String/thread are not things to set you free but are things to keep you in bondage. It just means you are just putting your life in bondage. When they are making incisions or cutting your skin with a blade in order to strengthen you, what is happening is that they are just putting the mark of Satan on you. Brethren, there is nothing that helps a person, only Jesus, because he died and rose again. He is full of victory. When you accept him seriously and serve Jesus, all the satanic things you have put or they have put on you will burn and melt, and you will be protected by the consuming fire of Jehovah. I lived there under the water and we ate human flesh and human blood so that we could be brave every day. The devil would come to see if I was still working well, even from those cameras. He was just checking to see if I was still doing the work good. I used to work with the people who live at the bottom of the rivers. After we made them dream about making a ceremony, the day they slaughtered a goat or a sheep, we would go and collect that blood and drink it in the kingdom of darkness and leave a fake blood. You will never see that with the physical eye. We went to take the slaughtered meat. We would say that the meat should be eaten tomorrow because we knew that at night we took it and left the old one full of demons, which made the minds of the people change. Some would be possessed by the spirit of the goat and started to ruin things. The devil loved the goat, we devil worshippers loved the cow, and we were happy when it was placed in the kraal. We even made it cry out when it was brought into the kraal because we wanted fresh blood and meat. It is believed that when a cow cries out, it is a good sign that the ceremony will go well. Some of the meat we would change and the real one will be taken, and when they eat the meat people would have upset stomachs. Then they would say the person who slaughtered it had a bad hand, which means they are an amateur. Most of the time I didn't go on missions, I always sat there under the water and I operated by sending out. We guarded the place a lot for those who were really determined to worship their ancestors, and we determined to make sure that they did not need money. And we made sure a member of the family would get their funds after waiting for them a long period. We made them get their funds now so that people would believe that ancestors exist. We made people dream of picking up a lot of money on the ground, and when they passed by that place that they saw in the dream, they would see the money and be happy, then say that their ancestors have heard them. These are the people that were determined in worshipping Satan. In other homes we would make the cow or goat not to cry out because we wanted the person to go to the witch doctor and spend more money. Then the witch doctor would say the ceremony didn't go well and it must be repeated and more monies must be spent in doing another ceremony, because it is believed that when an animal doesn't cry it meant that the ceremony didn't go well. All this thing of traditions and ceremonies, it is done by the devil because he wants people to spend more money on meaningless things, and he makes the people to end up in hell. You must take a stand for your salvation even if your family loves to do ceremonies, because one day they will be saved because of your prayer. When they do ceremonies, you as a Christian go on dry fasting and fight with these spirits that they are putting in your family. Jesus is trusting on you to bring light to your family. Testimony to be continued, Lord willing.